Trip in the house, literally. So today we have a special episode because I'm in my house and we're going to make some concoctions. In particular, shut up PJ, in particular some balm, some lotion, you know, a healing balm, a salve, okay? We're going to do that on the stove by adding various ingredients. We'll go over that, okay? That's the real reason why this channel is called Trip Apothecary. I have a strong science background. I make various homeopathic concoctions, lotions, tinctures, salves, balms, etc. Today we're going to make a healing balm. I use it on my youngest daughter. She has eczema, pretty bad case of eczema since birth. We use this balm on her and it does wonders. We ran out. I got to make more, so I use it at home. Feel free to email me. I'll send you a sample. Absolutely. Let's start making them in the kitchen. Let me show you the ingredients I'm using. Let's look at our ingredients here. We got various essential oils, okay, that we're going to add. We got our 2 empty jars. We got, this is a emulsion. I used olive oil, organic olive oil as a carrier oil, and I've added calendula flowers from my garden. Like I mentioned previously, this channel is called Trip Apothecary because I make various concoctions, but I try to use as much as I can from things that I grow in my own garden. So that's the plan. Some of these things obviously I'm not growing, like tea tree. I'm not growing tea tree in my garden, but I do grow peppermint, rosemary, lavender. Lemon I'm working on. It's a very young plant, but... And I got different oils that I'm going to add to it. Grapeseed oil, avocado oil. Again, this is olive oil with calendula, so this is like my calendula oil, and it has the benefit of olive oil. Here's some shea butter and some beeswax to put it all together. Don't forget the coconut oil. Okay, I also have another carrier oil that I've previously made. I'm running out. This is also olive oil as the carrier oil, and I've added some Ceylon cinnamon, not that fake stuff, that cassia nonsense, the McCormick stuff. This is the real deal cinnamon bark from Sri Lanka that I had a friend, shout out to my friend Kalyani, who brings it for me from Sri Lanka. She's Sri Lankan. So let's get going. And here's obviously the pot. Here's my stove and the pot with some water, and I'm going to make a hot water bath with these glass jars, lidded glass jars. You know, they look a little funky and dirty only because I've used them before and I'm just refilling them. Okay, so there's some residue, some wax residue on them, as you can see in there. You see, but only because we use these products every day. Fabulous moisturizer with some antimicrobial properties. Okay, so antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial properties. So, you know, I got to cure this eczema that my daughter has naturally as possible, without using, you know, hydrocortisone and prescribed medication and whatnot, steroidal things that will affect her hormonal balance. You know, we want to be as natural as possible. That's our family's motto. All right, let's get cooking. Trip back, ready to cook. So we're going to remove the lids on the jars just to facilitate, you know, picking it up with tongs later and whatnot and getting it all clunky. So these jars are great because you could just take off the tops and just easy to use. I put the glass jar in the hot water bath in the water. The stove's not on yet. Boom, turning it on now. You want to warm up the glass with the water. Warm them up at the same time, or what happens? The glass breaks. It shatters. Maybe not so much, but any type of shock, especially a cold shock, is warm into the cold, shatters instantly. So what we got to do is, you know, we try to take it, you know, take it easy and warm up that water bath at reasonable pace. Okay. Hitting up the different angles. I already got some feedback from some of my previous videos. Hitting up different angles. You know who you are. Supreme! So let's go to the kitchen again, the stove top, and let's start adding ingredients. Now the first thing I'm going to add is my beeswax. Alright? Doesn't really matter. You can add some oil. I like to add the essential oils last. Okay, so I'm going to add beeswax to both of my glass jars. Okay. How much? Well, I can't tell you because this is my proprietary blend. Okay, everything's proprietary these days. Just ask Apple. So I'm just going to add, you can just count how many times I'm doing it, I guess. But let's, alright. So there's, I'm adding wax to it. Now it depends on how much balm lotion you want to make. I'm not going to talk this whole time because I do want to do my little music in a little bit, you know what I mean? But so let's add that. Okay, let's start adding some oil. Okay. On this bad boy, I'm using a syringe, plastic syringe, because there's a flower material from the flower itself, the calendula flower. So obviously I don't want little things, or minimize how many little pieces of you know, stamen and flower parts are in the. I need a new syringe. I need a new syringe because this thing pops. Alright? You know, you get what you pay for. My wife always says. So I grow calendula flowers, alright? And I grow a lot of it. And this year they self-seeded, right? I showed you that. Those little sprouts. We'll see as we go along. We'll see them maturing, and you'll see the flower and all that. It's in the marigold family. Fantastic for skin. Calendula oil is one of the best things for healing skin. Amazing healing properties. Okay. Let's take a look at how that's coming along in there. Alright. So what you want to do, maybe lower the heat a little bit. It's a little, you don't want a rolling boil in there, you know. This is a slow process. I just wanted to warm up the water quickly. So, you know, you got to get the wax and all the oils to become homogeneous, right? You want them to homogenize and become homogeneous. Okay, it's all going to melt together. Then we add our essential oils afterwards. I don't like to add the essential oils right away because a lot of them have a low boiling point. So if the mixture is too hot and I add these volatile essential oils to it, boom, becomes gaseous. I lose a lot of their properties. I don't want that. So I want it to cool off a little bit. Not so much so that it solidifies. Remember, there's wax in there. And I do make my balms thick. That's why it's a balm and not a lotion. I add it later so that it can infuse into it, but at the same time not become gaseous and I lose a lot of the properties from these essential oils. Okay, look how beautiful that looks. Rich amber color. Okay, it's all melted together. Okay, beautifully. I'm going to now remove it. So look at that natural goodness. Okay, I'm laying it out here to cool off just a bit. Again, we don't want it to solidify. There's wax inside. We let it cool off a little bit to lower that temperature, so then we add our essential oils afterwards. Okay, yeah. So here it is, almost cooled to the temperature that I want it to be before I start adding essential oils. Now if you look at it, I'll do it as slow as I can. It's not very viscous. It's still very liquid, in the liquid state, so it's still quite warm. Okay, but we've waited 5 minutes or so. The glass is even cool to the touch, cooler to the touch, so it's not as hot. So I'm not too worried about the essential oils losing a lot of its vigor. Okay, so let's start adding some. Okay. Boom, here's my fridge. Let's open it. That's what it looks like in the fridge. Okay, it's cooling off. Then you'll see the finished product afterwards. You'll see how it has changed into a solid state. Ta-da! Some of the Calendula flower parts, solidified, ready to go. Much more to come from the Trip Apothecary.